Okay, a very good evening for all the students. So, from today onwards, we'll be reviewing all the NID AIM mocks, what students have attempted. So, the NID AIM test 13 happened last Sunday. There were about 105 students who took the test, but not all of them have completed uploading their work. So, it is important that you upload all your work, because only if your work is uploaded, we are going to correct them. Of course, you would get your theory ranking as it is whenever you finish the test. But for the combination of ranks of theory and sketching would happen only when we evaluate your sketches, then you get the ranking. Okay, the All India ranking. So even though there are 105 students who have taken the test, only I think 25 got qualified, 23 or 25 got qualified. And how do we basically see whether everybody has submitted or not? So we just get back and we get to know, okay, section's incomplete. So we don't even look into the report. Only if a section is complete, then we kind of click that report and we go into and we review the work. So in case you have not uploaded all your sketches, then it would not have been evaluated. So what we are going to do is, let me just log into one of the students' reports and I'll tell you where you can actually see your ranking. All right. So, so once we correct your section 2, all the sketches, in the sense, you should have uploaded sketch question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. Only then we'll be evaluating your work. So this is for going forward. So if you're attempting sincerely and if you want to have the marks and you want to know where you stand, it is important that you upload all your sketches. And then once we also evaluate your sketching questions, you get this AIR. So currently for this student, it is 4 out of 23. So which means that 23 students have actually done all the work, uploaded. And out of that, 4 out of 23 is a rank. And then there is an overall score as well. It is 51.5. Okay, so I don't know who is the first AR1, who is, I don't know who is that. If the student is here who has got AIR1, if you can let me know, I can search for your particular work and I can review the work as well. All right. So there are a couple of questions. Ashwija is saying, good evening, sir. I actually couldn't attempt the NID AIM test last week due to other commitments. I attempted the NID 2020 past year paper on Monday. Would you be reviewing that? No, Ashwija, I will be reviewing the NID AIM test 13 only. Because there are 4 sketches, 4 into, at least if I look into 4 or 5 student sketches, that itself is a lot. And nevertheless, you can hear the feedback that is being given, all right, so that you can actually learn a lot. Okay, so Akshay is saying, sir, will we have advanced sketching class today? So this review is the advanced sketching class itself, because there is a lot of learning that you would be doing, and when you actually attempt them by redoing them, it's a lot of learning that is going to happen. So one of the advanced classes will be using it for reviewing the NID AIM test, and it is recommended that all the students of NID take this test nevertheless, whether they have finished their work or not. And it is only 4 months to the exam now, and it is important that you all take it seriously and start attempting the NID AIM test, and also finish your basic assignments. I'm going to talk about that as well. Okay. Okay, so Abhinav is saying, sir, in the paper, the images did not appear for me when I attempted. So Abhinav, I'm not sure when you have attempted. Initially, for probably 20 minutes, there was a problem. but then students have reported and it has been corrected, and then afterwards the sketches were visible. All right. So if you have any problems, if you're facing any problems during the exam, please highlight and answer the test accordingly, not evade the test, saying that, okay, citing reason that, okay, I could not see the questions, so I have not done. No. Okay, so please highlight and get it corrected. Nandana is saying, sir, I did not get the AR rank for both sketching and theory, even though I uploaded my sketches. So these sketches were uploaded, the sketches were corrected, I think 2 days ago. So by that time, if you have uploaded, then they would have been corrected. Okay, but having said that, let me have a check, Nandana, right? So let us check for Nandana. Nandana S. So Nandana, I think this is your email ID. So it has been corrected, Nandana. Maybe you're not checked. And your ARI is 6 and overall score is 49. So please check. So how do you check whether your sketches are corrected, not corrected? When would they be corrected? After you upload your sketches, it will take some time for us to evaluate. Okay, so generally it will happen 2 days prior to the review. All right. Okay. Where do you check your report? Where do you check your report? Do you know? Does everybody know how to check your this report section? Does everybody know that way to check your reports? Yes. Okay, Anika is saying yes. So I assume, or instead of assuming, Anika, I would want you to share your screen and show from a student perspective, where would you access the report? Okay, can you please show it? I'll stop sharing my screen for a minute. Yeah. So Anika, you can show that. So Abhinav does not know as well, so it will be good if you all can share it. Anika can share and can probably show.
So is it seen?
Yes.
I just went to the profile, and under that you have under your recent activity, you will see your NID test.
Yes, and just click on that. And then you can see this. Okay. Got it, everyone? Okay, so thank you all so much. Thank you, Anika, so much. All right. All right, so let me reshare my screen. Okay, so let me go back to the questions. Okay, Nancy is saying, sir, I gave the test, but I'm not able to access it again. I want to access it as I didn't upload all answers. From where can we access the test? So Nancy, Anika has just shown you from where you can access. Of course, if you are not uploaded, you can upload it again now, but the marking is done. We will not be going back and doing the marking. All right, but however, we can give the feedback in this session. We'll give the feedback. Nancy, all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Niranjan is saying, sir, I did not understand the third question of the sketching part. So we'll be going through the sketching questions now, and we'll be checking the feedback in terms of how or what you should be doing, how you should have attempted it. Sarah Xavier, it shows I got an AIR2. Will you be reviewing it, as I want to see where I messed up? Yes. So AIR1 to 3, we will review your work for sure if you are present in the review session. If you're not present, then we will not review. It's as simple as that. So, but the top 3 will definitely review, such that people, the students who are attending, can actually understand where the best guys have done the mistake, and that will also like a small benchmark in terms of, okay, how you should have done and how you can improve your work and all of that. Okay, so AIR 1, 2, 3 will definitely be reviewed in the class, and if we get more time, then we can probably review other student books. Okay, so it is also an impetus for you to come on the top. So you got to do your best to be on the top, to be get reviewed your work. Okay. Adriel, sir, I had put a revision question for one of the sketching questions. My other sketches was graded instead. So if you don't want to have the previous sketch corrected, so you can just delete the previous sketch, so that only the sketch that you uploaded will be corrected. That was in the time limit, so you should have removed the previous sketch before you upload the new sketch. All right, Adriel. All right, so with that, let me just check the messages 1 minute. Is there an option to delete it? Yes, there is an option to delete. So this is a question for a student. Okay, anybody can volunteer to show how you can delete a sketch that is uploaded. Who would like to share their screen and show? So can anyone volunteer? Come on, go ahead. Nobody knows? I'm surprised.
Sir, I can show.
Yeah, Sarah, please go ahead.
Okay. Oh.
It could be some other question, need not be this particular mock test.
Okay.
You can just go to some sketching question and then you can show.
Okay. Once you're here, you can do this and delete upload.
Yeah. So that's a way to delete your sketch. Okay. All right. So do we have the AIR1 here in this call? So Sarah, Control F. Sarah Xavier. So I'm looking at Sarah Xavier's work. Okay. All right. Let us look at the questions. Okay. So you have been given 4 questions, and I believe it's almost the same marks for each of the questions. So let us first understand question after question, and also let us review how they have to be answered. So the first question is, imagine you are lying down on a bed in this room and watching the TV. Draw the room and objects or accessories as you see, as you would see from your position. Okay. Okay, so Abhinav is saying, sir, this is a general question, but I have observed that I find it difficult to draw what I have imagined to maximum detail and in a presentable manner. Also, when I used to learn drawing, I was taught by observing reference images and sketches. So now on to imagine without a reference and draw is my difficulty. Could you please suggest some methods through which I can overcome this? Of course, yes. In fact, once you finish all the basic classes, you'll be having the advanced classes and the exam readiness classes where we will be addressing these points. All right. But let us first focus on the 4 questions that were given here. So they have given a room layout. Okay. And the room has a room sketch, and the room has certain furniture, and it has some kind of layout, and etc.
Because it's all questions.
Sorry,
And
Sushil?
we're reviewing the works of the top 3 students.
Sushil, can you please mute yourself? Oh, I'm muting Sushil. All right. So the question is that imagine that you are lying down on this bed and you are looking at the TV. So how does this particular room looks like? Okay. Now, many people, what I've seen, I've seen some of the sketches, what they have done is they have created their own room. Okay. They have completely ignored this image. There is no reference of any of this furniture in the room that they have drawn. That's a blunder.
Sir,
Yeah.
that's because the image in the first question was accidentally moved to the second one, so people got confused.
No.
When the test came out, the image that was shown in the first question was actually placed in the second one, so it didn't make
was
sense.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sir, actually,
The
when
first
I was
image was placed
attempting,
in the second one, so that made it even more confusing.
Oh, right. Okay. So that was a problem then. Nevertheless, but you all have understood the question, right? That's fine.
yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, and if you find some kind of a mismatch of the question with the image and etc., let the let us know. Okay. You're all in the WhatsApp group, so you can just let us know that, saying that, okay, is this a question correct or wrong, or what happened, what is the issue, etc., so that we can get it corrected. All right. Okay. Fine. So as long as you're able to understand the concept and you draw, that is fine for this question. Okay. Question number 2. Given in the image are a few objects out of proportion. Draw them in correct proportion in relation to each other and mention their dimensions in centimeters. All right. So they have given these objects and they're obviously out of proportion, and you have to redraw them in the correct proportion and also mention the centimeters. Okay. Question number 3. Image 1 shows a fact that incites humor in a person and makes a person ponder or reflect and identify a different fact that would incite humor in a person and draw it in 3 frames. So basically, understand this image, what is happening. 1995, there was a situation. 2015, there is a situation. 2022, there is another situation. Now, what is happening is the situation of 1995 has written back in 2020. Right? So where the mothers are forcing children to go inside, and then in 2015, mothers are forcing children to go outside and play, and then in 2020, pandemic forced mothers to make children study inside, right? So this is the humor. It's a fact which has happened, and it is also subtly kind of makes us laugh. Okay, what is the situation? How it has changed? Now, similar kind of, so what is happening is there is a particular era, certain thing was happening, and the same thing is repeating in the current era. Right? So that is the kind of logic in these images, and you need to find something similar, a fact that has happened in the past and repeating now, right? And then you have to capture that intent and you have to redraw it here. So that was the question number 3. Okay. All right. So question number 4. Shown in the image is a soap box. List 5 issues with this box. Redesign the soap box to solve any 2 or more of the problems identified above. So it's a simple direct design question. So there is an image that is given which talks about certain object. And then there are some issues with that object. You need to list down those 5 issues, and then you redesign to solve any 2 or more of the problems you have identified above. All right. So these are the 4 questions that were asked in the NID AIM 30. Now let us review. So before I review, is Arnab here? Yes, Arnab Sigdar is here. Arnab, I can't hear you. Are you speaking? Okay, so I would like to introduce Arnab. Arnab, can you switch on your video?
Just a second.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
Yes.
guest faculty today. Okay, Arnab has done his bachelor's of design from NID.
Yeah, NID.
Ahmedabad.
Bachelor's.
When was that, Arnab?
I graduated in 2011. I
2011.
joined in 2006.
2006. All right. So we have got Arnab here. He has also got good experience in teaching, and he's passionate about giving feedback and mentoring students. So we got Arnab here such that he can also give his own insights on what students have done, and probably he can do some quick sketches and show how it could have been done better. All right.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Hold on.
So what are the questions? Is this the question?
Yes, Arnab. So there are 4 questions.
Okay.
The question 1 is, as it says, you got to imagine that somebody is lying in this room, like you are sleeping in this room and you're looking at the TV and draw what you see. So you got to capture the environment from that position. All right. So let us first go with these works. So there were about 105 students who have given the test, but not all of them could complete in time. They could not upload their sketches. So those students who have not uploaded their sketches will not be getting AIR, All India ranking. All right. So we are looking at every week or every NID test, we'll be reviewing the top 3 performers. Okay. So the idea is when we help correct or improve the top 3 performers, others can actually understand how they can improve their sketches as well. All right. So that way we can avoid going into the fundamentals of how it should have been done and etc. If there are any perspective errors and etc., all that can avoid it, because students are anyhow working on them, and they are also aware how it can be improved or corrected. All right. So we are looking at AIR number 2 by Sarah. So this is the work done by Sarah. All right. So this is the interior that they have given, and this is the sketch that she has done, Sarah has done.
This looks more like through the point of view of the person, right? That's what the question was.
That is the question is also about. Yes. Sarah, how much time did you take to do this sketch?
It took me around 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes.
All right. Okay.
This one was the longest question.
Right. So it's a great attempt, Sarah. Okay. What is happening is because of the kind of rendering that you have done. Okay. It kind of looks a bit messy. All right. You could have been a bit more careful in the way that you are rendering your work. Okay, but in terms of the view, you have tried to capture most of the elements that are there. Okay, but you could have been a bit more observant in terms of, like, for example, you are showing this particular the wash basin, and then the light fixtures. If at
Sara, you have
all,
used an alcohol
yeah,
marker for the rendering?
So normally I do it the whole thing with pencil, and I render it out with a pencil with shading. But that
Yeah.
turns out to take a lot of time. So this is the first time I tried something new where it's basically a brush pen. I mixed water and ink to do the rendering.
Yeah, see, the thing is, you can do it, but in the exam papers, the papers will be little thinner. You know what I mean? So any kind of, I would suggest not to use like alcohol markers or brush pens, because they might, like make the paper thinner and it can transfer on the other side.
But
So
the
I
last
always believe like do it with a pencil, make it smudge if you can. Use those smudgy, these kind of stuff to smudge the pencil.
yeah.
Even if it happens, these things can make it faster. But alcohol markers, brush pen, I'm sure they will go like they will transfer to the other side of the paper. So remember that, I
Okay,
feel.
sir. Thank you.
all right. Is there a way to improve this work?
Is there a way to improve this drawing?
Yes.
I feel like the perspective is nice, although the TV can be a little lower. Like the perspective, what do you call the point, the main point? This is the 1 point perspective, right?
Yes,
That
this is
one,
1 point perspective.
yeah. What you have done, Sarah, is taken a 1 point perspective. The perspective lines can go a little lower. Like
So
the
basically,
TV in front of
you're
you,
suggesting
and
that the eye level can be lower?
yeah.
Yeah, eye level can be lower.
So, but
Yeah.
the thing was that the person's lying down on the bed. That's why I took a low.
Yeah, in a way, it's not bad. The whole composition is fine. I just don't understand, where is the TV like? Is it on the wall or is it?
It's on a screen kind of thing based on the image given above.
Yeah, so that is not clear. Even the first one is like the TV is not like it's not on focus. Your TV is on focus, but I don't know what's going on the background. I mean, it's a partition kind of thing, I feel, and there is the TV. Other than that, perspective rendering is all okay, good. Like
Okay.
the way the popcorn or something is on your stomach is like the POV is good.
Okay. So
But
just want to highlight a small observation here. So Sarah, the TV is between the two panels, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, you consider this as panel 1 and panel 2 from the left. All right. So what you have drawn is the TV is on panel 2 and panel 3.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
You see that?
Yeah.
So that's a mistake. That's a mistake.
Okay, sir.
And also, you look at the position of the screens. They are inward, right? So here the panel 1 is not the relationship between panel 1 and panel 2 is not correct. You understand?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are the finer things that you kind of miss out, and that is where they kind of pick up. Okay. And also see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 6 panels. You have drawn more than the required number.
So the low marks are because of like either it looks messy because it's a brush pen, or is it because it's not accurate?
So basically, it is not accurate in terms of what is being given. For example, there are blunders in the drawing, right? So as I told you, this has to be between panel 1 and 2, and you made the drawing panel 2 and 3, which means that you are not observing the drawing properly.
Okay, sir.
And secondly, of course, yes, the way it has been represented, it could have been done in a very neater fashion. So as Arnab also said, you can use the 6B pencil dust, and also you can smudge them. Okay, and do it neatly, not in a hurry.
Okay.
All right. Okay, cool. So also this detail that you have drawn here, okay, so this detail, the wall cornice, and also you can see that there is a AC vent, right? So you have shown the door here, but on top of the door, you also need to have the AC vent, which is missing.
Yes, sir, I think at that point I was running out of time. So
Okay.
that's why it turned out to be a little messy,
Right.
and I forgot about those small details because
Hmm.
I had to stick to the time limit.
Okay. So, so you got to work on your times. Let us see what are the number of questions. Like this is 15, 15, 15, or 20. So question number 1 and question number 4 have 20 marks. So you got to spend more time on those, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So what we also do is, let us just quickly go through some other student works, which are a little neatly represented. Let us say, we can look at Pragya's work, Anika and Pragya. So let us look at Pragya's work, all right? Okay, so the work, the presentation, etc., is pretty neat, clean, and she also got the panel thing correct, right? So she got certain things correct, and she has basically done pretty neatly. So Arnab, would you like to give some comments? Throw in some comments here. In fact, I saw in one of the sketches, a student has drawn some details on this panel. So you see, there are some kind of details.
There's like
face
a
and
face or
etc.
something, tree and face.
So in fact, one student has drawn that. Let us review that work as well. That was also pretty neatly done. So Pragya, I don't know if Pragya is in the call or not, but for
yes, sir, I'm
you're
here.
there, Pragya. All right, Pragya.
Yes, sir.
See the fundamental perspectives, right? Perspective. So what is happening is you have drawn this panel correctly, and of course the bottom line is hidden, so you're not drawn it, but then the flaws are reflected over here. Okay.
Okay.
So if this panel is going inside like that, okay, the bottom of this line should also be going inward.
Okay.
Like for
yes,
example, you see this, okay, this line and this line, okay, they are going into one perspective line somewhere over there, right? But for this particular panel, these lines are parallel to each other, which is wrong. Did you understand the point?
Yes, sir.
So
It's
it has to
creating
be
an
in fact
optical
going
illusion
in.
now.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's creating kind of an optical illusion right now.
It is optical illusion, but technically it is not
Technically,
correct.
yeah, it's wrong.
It's
Yeah.
wrong. Technically, it's wrong. If this line is going like this line should be going inward, not going outward. Right? So which means that over here also the thing would change. Right? Okay. So let us go to that particular sketch where they have actually represented this, I think Netra has done. And who else? Anika has also attempted to do something over there like that, but let us look at Netra's. It has a bit more detail in it. You see that? Sarah, are you observing?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, she's so very observant and she has the eye for picking it. In fact, in your case, what you could have done is instead of shading the thing, you could have probably given some details that are more important. Yeah. All right. Okay, so Ashwija is asking a question. She's saying, sir, are we allowed to take colors for the paper? I believe it was just pencils we are allowed to take. So you are allowed to take pencils as well, color pencils and pastels. Those you can take. They in fact tell you not to use watercolors. Okay, and the sketch pens and etc. also you have to minimize the use. Let us say if you're highlighting certain area, certain part and etc., then probably you can use them, but definitely not for the entire sketch. Okay. All right. So now that all of you have got the feedback, okay, on at least one question, what is it that you should be doing? Can anybody tell me? You receive the feedback. Now you are evaluating your own sketches. Okay. So what is the next step? If you really want to see your improvement, what is the next step? Can anybody try answering that question?
Doing it again.
Yes, doing it again with a time limit. Okay, so probably 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes is the time you can allocate for this question and you can work on that. Okay, so unless you redo it, if you consider that, okay, I can do it well in the exam, sorry, it's not going to happen. You have to redo it, and in the doubt clarification sessions, take that sketch and get feedback from Velu sir or somebody else from the faculty. All right. Okay, let's go to question number 2. So Arnab, this is a question where a few of the objects are given not in proportion. Student has to draw them in correct proportion and also mention their dimensions in centimeters.
Okay.
So let us see how Sarah has done.
Fourteen centimeter. Is it that too long? 14.5 centimeter.
Yeah. So what is the largest footwear size that is available in the market? Can anyone answer that? Generally, what is the foot size? You can type it in the chat window. Guys, respond. What is 1 foot? 1 foot is equal to how many centimeters?
I think 12, right?
12
No.
inches and
No,
30
sorry,
centimeters.
12 inches is 1 foot. Yeah.
12 inches.
30 centimeters.
30 centimeters is 1 foot. All right.
Excuse me,
So,
sir.
yeah.
In this question, did you mean we had to do the realistic dimensions or?
Of course, yes, realistic dimensions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Realistic dimensions.
So, but in the paper, how will take the real sizes? I mean that we have to take the dimensions in respect to other objects, correct?
No, it is based on your observation. Okay. For example, okay. So there's a shoe that is given. There is a cricket ball that is given, or a tennis ball that is given. So, or a football, let us say. You have seen a football in real life. You have seen a tennis ball in real life. Which one is bigger?
So the football.
Football. And tennis ball is proportionally smaller, right?
Yes.
So you have to imagine what could be the approximate size of the ball.
And also, I feel like you should understand which is the biggest object amongst all them. Which three are the biggest objects, right? First, I think you should draw them. You have to draw them on the paper, right? So you have to adjust all of them together. So you understand which is the biggest objects here. So I think the football will be the biggest, then the shoe and the boxing glove, they all have to come to the paper first. I think you should fill up according to the paper. Like you have to understand which one will take how much area in that paper or in that space given. Then the rest of the three will come automatically. First, if you draw the tennis ball this big, then we'll have problems to adjust the other things in place.
Right. Okay. So Nancy, the objective of this question is to test a student's ability to visualize and measure visually, right? Now that depends on their observation power in their regular life. So when you are looking at so many things, you look at so many objects, and some people kind of take it for granted. Some people kind of try to make some relationship with other objects. Let us say we all use tube lights at home, right? Okay. So what is the length of the tube light? Can anybody answer? Three feet. Okay. Anyway, these 3 feet, 2 feet ones are very recent productions. But if you take the traditional tube light, okay, that is of 4 feet length. Okay. Or let me ask you another question. What is the height of a door? Every day we move from one door to other door, right? Okay. So what is the height of the door? And this height of the door is pretty much standard in the entire world. It has a specific dimension. What is the height of the door? So Adriel is saying 8 foot. About 7 to 8 feet. It cannot be about. It cannot be between 6 and 7 feet. It is 7 feet. It is proper 7 feet. Okay. Some exclusive construction companies, or like, for example, Prestige, they give the main door as 8 feet door. That's an exception, but most of the doors are 7 feet. Now, this is the observation skill that you all should start developing right from now. Okay, for example, you use a pencil. Pencil is of what length? (15 centimeters? 20 centimeters? So when a pencil company produces a pencil, what is the dimension that they produce the pencil for? Let us say a Staedtler pencil or Apsara pencil. All right. So these are some of the things that you should be very observant about. So the lengths, dimensions, weights, shapes, sizes, the currency values, the commodity values, etc. are something that you should be knowing, because there's a high probability that they kind of ask this kind of questions in the exam. All right. Okay. So you may not get the exact perfect dimension per se, but at least it has to be something realistic.
Approximately.
Okay. Approximately, closer.
Approximately also.
Yeah. Yeah. For example, 8.5 centimeters for a football diameter. That could be for a baby football, not for a full-size football.
So this one, I measured it's just the measurement is on paper. I didn't mean the actual dimensions of the.
No, you have to do the actual dimension.
I
The
didn't
whole
propose.
diameter.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go on, Magna.
Sir, can you repeat? I couldn't hear you.
I'm saying it can be the radius of the football, not the whole diameter. You know, the 8.5 centimeter is too small. It's like this much.
Sir, in paper, these are not the actual dimensions. I meant in the paper to see them
Yeah, but
proportional.
still, I'm just saying, like, 5 centimeter, you are taking the wicket, right? You're writing there 5 centimeter. So 5 centimeter is this much, right? This can't be the wicket thing. Even like this, the wicket has to be like at least like 9 centimeter, right? One wicket.
Yes, yes, sir.
So even if you write 5 centimeter, it becomes this tiny an object. When you write
Okay.
centimeter, maybe if you have written inches, it's fine. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. So, Sara, I think what you meant was that you have actually drawn the dimension of that particular object that you have drawn on the paper. On the paper, how much it is measuring. Is it what
Yes,
you're
sir.
mentioning? Yeah, but
Yes.
that is not the question, no?
Okay, I didn't realize that, sir.
The question is not that.
I also meant the same thing. I thought that we have to write the how much centimeter it was measuring on the paper. That's why.
No, these are the actual sizes. Draw them in the correct proportion in relation to each other and mention there. Probably it should have been actual dimensions in centimeters. Okay, but whenever they're giving you something like this, what they meant is a real life dimension. Okay, right. Now let us quickly look at some of the sketches of students. Now I think three. Pragya, Ethan, so I don't think anyone has got it.
Can we
Probably
see Ishana's one?
Ishana, is it? Okay. Ishana, yeah, let us see this.
I think except for the wicket.
Yeah, this bail of the wicket, right? Yeah.
Wicket has become too big. Otherwise,
Too big, yeah.
mostly, and the gloves is a little bigger. Otherwise, rendering and like if you have put some shadows like that in the shoe and also in the gloves, it will be really good. Like you have done to the ball. Now imagine the same shadow in the shoe. The wicket has gone too big. The bell is the bell of the wicket.
Bell of the wicket, yeah.
Yes, sir. I actually didn't recognize it as
Observation, guys. You may hate something, you may hate a sport, but you have to be observant as a designer.
Sir, actually, even I had the same problem. I couldn't recognize that object.
Then see, they have given everything related with sports, right? So you got to, which means that, okay, this is an exercise that you have to do from today onwards. Be observant of your environments and start maintaining a sketchbook and draw everything that you see. And go by category wise, like probably sports, and then let us say the cutlery, the gardening tools, the masonry tools. Okay, so take a category and start drawing those objects, observing how they are made, what is the material that is used for making it, what is the process of making that particular object, etc., along with the dimensions. Okay, so I basically mentioned few things that you should be observing. So how many of you have taken note of that? If yes, can you just type down in the chat what all things you should be observing? Can anybody try? Let me see how many of you are attentive in the session. No one. Okay, I'm getting the answers now. You can answer to everyone. You don't have to just answer to me. So Zara is saying length, weight, currency, commodity. Commodity cost. Okay, like for example, who can answer 1 kg tomato is how much in your city? Can anybody answer? 1 kg tomato is how much in your city? 20 rupees? 45 rupees? 40 rupees? 30 rupees? You ask your mom next time how much is tomato cost. All right. Yeah, so these are the 4 things that you should be really be observant about and make a conscious effort of understanding length, weight, currency, and commodity. For example, how much is diesel? 1 liter diesel is how much in your city? So Vaishnavi is saying we need to observe things we see every day and try to sketch it all to remember its sizes or dimensions as well as to material used to make it. Yes, yes. Very good. Okay, so you got that point. So point made. So let us move to the next question. Question number 3. So Arnav, this is a question where an image has been given and it's basically a little storyboard, like a comic strip, which talks about a particular fact that has happened at different intervals. And the main point is that something has happened in the past is repeating now. All right, so that was the question. All right, so let us see how Sarah has done. Procrastination. 10 a.m. I have all day to do this project. I'll just do it later. 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Everyone upload your projects. Okay. So, so Sarah, in terms of your sketching, it's good. Now here you have used those pens. You have used them neatly, so it's absolutely fine. It's good drawing. Okay, so good presentation. But this kind of a presentation, please avoid it in a question where it is more sketching focused. This is a creative question, so you can do something like this. But for a sketching question, please be cautious in terms of how nicely you are doing the sketch.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so what is happening here is, so you're basically saying that she's in the same position. Okay, I understand your intent, but it could have been where even the third frame shows that she thinks that she has, I mean, not thinks, she is in a position where she is still not done anything and she's still having that happy face and etc. etc. Why I'm saying that is because if you understand these 3 sketches, right? Let's say frame 1, 2, and 3. Frame 1 and frame 3 are almost similar, same in fact, except for the ear. Frame 2 is different, right? So here, ideally, frame 1 and frame 3 has to be the same.
Yes, sir.
Frame 2 could have been different.
Yes, sir.
So from that perspective, I think you could not get the theme correctly, the intent correctly.
Okay.
Okay, but you have done a good job, so no doubt about that. Right? Arnab?
Yeah.
Yeah. So could you comment or share your comments on this work?
Yeah, I think the humor is good in it. I really feel there's the humor and it is like a 3-panel thing. But as sir is telling, I think you should like it should go back to the first frame altogether. Like it has to reflect that part. Otherwise, it's a nice humorous thing, and the whole you have written a procrastination. You've given it a nice title also. So I feel like there is some amount of like credibility to this art, to this sketch. Although I feel like they're trying to say like, how can you go back to the first frame? You know, like something that was happening once, and then people have done something else later, but again they're going back to the same thing. How can you do that? Like, you know, it's like, how do I tell you? It's like, but they have given a timeline to it.
Yeah.
I got it. So I didn't realize that the first and the third frame were supposed to be similar.
Right. So basically, it goes back to the same thing, observation.
Okay.
Okay. So everything that is given in the question paper is not by fluke. There is some thought process that has gone into it when they frame the question. Right. So you got to be quite observant in terms of what you're understanding and what you're doing. Okay.
It's like you have to think of something that has been like, you know, it's you have observed something. It's like earlier TVs used to be really big and people used to be like, you know, fit. Nowadays TVs have become slimmer and people have become fatter, you know, like that kind of observation. You know, something is going back, like something that has changed, that kind of things.
Right. So let us quickly check some of the works done by the students. In fact, there were a couple of them which were pretty neat. So let me just refresh my screen. Okay, we can actually, I mean, this is some way it is relevant. Yeah, it is some way closely relevant. So at least the posture of the person has been like gone back to its original, I mean, how it was as per them. And it's not, it's a very, what do you call, imaginative humor. It's not real, okay, but very nicely captured is what I feel. Okay. At least the posture has been repeated. Okay. In fact, there were a couple of them. I'm not able to find them. Okay, I mean, I don't know who has done this. Tanvi has done this. It's interesting. So, okay, it's not exactly relevant to what we are expecting here, but it's quite interesting to see that, okay, this lady is saying, okay, don't eat bones. She's giving the treats and she's eating the bone or something like that. Her pet dog doesn't listen to her unless she brings out its favorite treat, a humorous or true incident of this. I completely misunderstood what has been represented. I thought like she is eating the bone.
Yeah.
The question is not correct.
So she started eating the treats together.
Hmm.
Not conveying.
Okay, let us take this one, Arvind. Okay, so 1995, there is this telephone instrument that had a wire. In 2015, it is wireless, and in 2020,
Now you
again,
need a
that wire
charger
has
again.
come in a different format. So you're listening to plugging in your ears. So this is something which is closely relevant to image one repeating, or what is happening in image one is repeating in image.
Yeah, the idea is perfect, but the execution, I think you have to
Yes.
show it that if we are stuck to the wire, like, you know, that's otherwise, yeah, it has the whole game to it.
Okay, so Adriel has done something interesting. It's interesting. It's funny as well. It's like a sequence of things that are happening. One thing is for sure, the illustration is good. Right? Illustration quality is good, but whether it is communicating what it should be communicating or not, I'm not sure. I'm not able to get that. Adriel, you're on the call, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as per what we have discussed, do you think your whatever you have suggested fits into that structure?
So it started off like back in the day, there were no gyms. And then afterwards, gyms came and everyone started going to it. And he's basically the logo of Gold Gyms right now.
Yeah, but I'm finding it a little bit difficult to relate it to what we should be probably doing. Anyway, did you understand the logic of this particular question?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So, guys, please redo your work and re-upload. Okay, and I suggest each one of you correct your respective works, because that is how you can enhance your what do you call metacognition, the ability to evaluate and understand from others' perspectives and all of that. Okay. Now let us go to the fourth question. Shown in the image is a soap box. List 5 issues with this box. Redesign the soap box to solve any 2 or more of the problems identified above. Okay, let us understand this soap box. So can each one of you list down some problems related with this soap box? So Tavishi is asking, sir, do the years also have to be the same in question 3? The years need not be the same, but you should have a reference to the year. All right. So, like you could have taken, for example, this is 2012. So you could have taken 1912 and 1812, these 3 different years. And if you find something that is happening similar, which is repeating, hey, this is repeating, right? The COVID situation is repeating, right? I think in 1912, there was this Spanish flu or something like that. And then after a century, it is repeating now. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it has to be based on year, something that is repeating. Okay. In fact, in 1912, when the Spanish flu came, they had this kind of a beak masks. Everybody used to have a beak mask, and they used to basically put some chlorine and etc. in the beak, and then they used to actually use as a mask. Okay, so anyway, so right. So let us go to this question. Can you list 5 problems with this soap box? What is the, whenever you're using a soap box at home and etc., this is a very common object that most of the homes would have. So when you're using the soap box, what would be the problem? Can you list some problems? So Pragya is saying, share these comments with everyone. You don't have to share it with me alone, so that others can also read and understand. Okay. So Pragya is saying it's not eco-friendly as it's made out of plastic. The box is too big for the soap. The holes on the box are too small, so it can still retain water. All right. So when you come up with these problems, so others are also giving out the problems. Aisha is saying soap can slip out of the box easily. Anika Ghosh is saying its size is big for the platform. The sides of the box are low. The soap water clogs the dents. Residue and gunk from soap still remains. Yes, that is one of the problems. Soap box can slip and fall, Shreya. All right, so these are all the valid problems. So when you get these kind of problems, I always recommend that you list down the problems and see which is the most common and most addressable. Okay. So Adriel is saying, can we just eradicate all problems using the liquid soap? So the problem that is given here in this context is redesigning of the soap box. Okay, considering we use a soap like the one that is given in the picture. So don't make it too creative and saying that, okay, we replace that with a liquid soap and etc. Okay, so be relevant to the context that is given and the constraints that they've given and try to solve it. Okay, if they have posed a question like, okay, not redesign the soap box, but come up with a solution to avoid this situation, then in that situation or such kind of a context, you can come up with more crazy ideas. But here it is very clearly redesign of soap box. Okay, so Arnab, would you like to add some comments?
So I have a doubt.
I think what they have like written, the issues are correct, but I want to see what they have come up with.
Right. Yes, yes. We'll see that.
So I have a doubt.
Yeah. Who is this?
Kenny.
Kenny, come on, go on.
Yeah. So a lot of us have given like similar type of problems and issues, but like the issues that are given, right? So like soap boxes falling off and like residual soap leaving stains on the box and all of that, right? I think most of those problems also do, like some of the problems that we've given also have to do with the soap itself. Like both soap and soap box, like they come in comparison, like. So I think like the solution that I gave was also liquid soap, like to keep like a fixed box and have liquid soap in it. So
okay, so
I mean, see, some people really need like soap in their life. You know, some people are good with liquid soap for hand wash and something. Some people do require like the soap aspect of a soap, you know, for their like they like it. They will buy it. There always will be soaps going for like, you know, cleaning utensils. Like you need some people will use soap for clothes, also for body also. This liquid thing is new. Like approximately it's new, but what do we do with the soaps? They have made like herbal soaps, they have like other soaps. There will be soaps,
yeah. So but looking at like the where this picture is taken, it looks like a wash basin, and pretty much every wash basin nowadays has liquid soaps inside soap bars, right?
Yeah,
even in restaurants, even in homes.
They will, but you just can't say no to a, you know, solution just say with banning the whole thing. You know, you have to come up with something rather than just say just use liquid soap. So, but what to do with the thousands and thousands of soaps that are there? How will you create a soap box? What can be done? Like, first of all, what do you say? What material are you using for the soap box? Do you have a different material? Like, there are a lot of materials. Like, it can be whole rubber, like a silicone soap container also, that you can wash it with the soap residue that is left, and again keep it back. Can the
Yes, I
residue of
understand.
the soap be collected for something else? Does it have like a suction tube to be stuck on the wash basin so that it doesn't slip? You have to come out with some things, something out of the box. So that,
Yes, I
like,
understand.
your objective is to make a soap box that doesn't have all the issues that you think they are present. First, you have to note down the issues. Okay, I have issues. Okay, it might fall, it might slip and fall from the wash basin. So what do I do? Should I put some suction cups, like that get stuck, the silicone cups, like maybe some kind of grip that won't let it slip. So you have to find out some things. Should it have a lid on top or not? Should it have a lid that opens up if I press it or something, And like, you have to decide over it. What's the use of a lid? What's the if there are the holes like that, are they going to affect my soap, or are they going to be like, for some use of it? You have to think about some things. Now your job is to redesign a soap box. You can't just say, okay, I'll put liquid soap. That won't help you out with it. So yeah, you have given see, designing is all about like finding solution. That's it. Liquid soap is there, like, but what do you do with the soaps, with the soap that your grandma maybe wants to use? She might not be a liquid soap person at the end of the day. So you have to think of something material, or design wise. So
Yes,
that's how you have to go.
Okay, so the gist is understand the question. The question will have the key. Here they are clearly saying redesign the soap box. All right, so which means that you kind of adhere to the constraint of redesigning of the soap box. They did not give you the freedom of saying that, okay, redesign the experience of washing your body. Then that's a different question altogether. You can go very creative with that. Right? Okay. So we got to respect the question and its boundaries and find the solution within it. Okay, fine. So let us go to the options, the answers, what Sarah has done. All right, so she has given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems. Slips easily, no grip, no coverage. Dust falls, making it dirty. Soaks up all the water. Looks bad and crusty. Visually unappealing. Uses plastic, not eco-friendly. All right, so these are some of the valid reasons. Okay, and she has actually come up with 4 ideations of how that soap box can be, and then she has basically taken one idea to get screwed onto the wall at slight angle. So she has given a slight angle such that the water kind of drains off, and it is made up of metal. Interesting. You're suggesting
I like
metal,
the use of
Sarah?
metal. It's a very interesting concept. The metal, I think it's much better than use of plastic soap boxes.
A space for draining the water. Okay, and then there's a splash of water that's been shown here, and it has some kind of an interesting shape and etc. So it's a good attempt, but it could have been presented in a better way. All right, so this is more like your worksheet, like you are in a rough sheet. You're just ideating, you're just writing down your points, you have some ideas, and then you are trying to do this. Is like a rough work, Sarah. This looks like a rough work. This has to be like a properly presented work.
I thought I have to fit it all into one sheet.
Yes. You have to. So basically, the one sheet that you're uploading here should have everything neatly done, right from the uh, listing of the problems, clearly drawn ideations, and your final rendering.
Okay.
Understood? Okay. So that means that it requires a little bit of planning. Even before you start putting down everything on paper, you have to do a little bit of ideation, draw it on a side sheet, a rough sheet, plan out what you're doing, and then go to the main sheet and then you plan it, do it, execute it.
Oh, I wanted to show my ideation and my rough and everything in the same sheet as the final drawing. That's why I
Yes,
specified
so
it.
I'm saying that your final drawing should also have your ideations and your listing of points and the final rendering.
Okay.
Okay, but it's just that what has happened on this paper is whatever is going on your mind as is, you're just written down.
Yes, sir.
Got my point? But had you, let us say this is your rough sheet, and let us say you are doing the same three elements, like listing down the points, ideation, and the final work in a new sheet. But because you know what you're doing, you would do it more carefully and in a more presentable manner.
Okay, sir.
Agreed? Okay. Right. So metal is what you are mentioning. What metal?
Steel, sir.
Steel. Okay. I am personally, I'm little apprehensive of using a metal thing. That's because of my personal choice. But then there are very interesting materials that are coming in the market that you could probably use. In fact, there is one designer. He's my senior. He's from Chennai. Okay, so he is creating the soap boxes with concrete, right? And very nicely shaped, very nicely done, and it has a concrete feel to it. And uh, in fact, he is doing some interesting stuff with the concrete as the material. All right, so you can go a little bit more creative. So with concrete, what happens is it's heavy, so it stays wherever you put it, stays. It doesn't slip down, right? But of course, if it falls on your leg, it's a different story. But then, yeah, it is stable wherever, on whatever place you keep them. Okay. Right. So let us just go to other.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Sarah.
If I had a very wacky creative idea, could I go ahead with that as well? Like I wanted to put a fan to dry up the soap.
Oh, no. These, I mean, these are all.
See, if your idea can solve the problem, it's not wacky.
It's drying up the water. That's why.
Right,
works,
but
it's all good.
I would want you to caution you. All right, so there is a fine difference or a thin line between a well-designed object and a jugaad. Okay, having a little fan to dry the soap and all, it's all jugaad. I would not recommend that. Rather, if you have a scientific concept through which you can probably evaporate those water and keep the soap dry, and you can use that in the design of your soap box and etc., that would be very nice. In fact, there are some soap boxes available on Amazon. Okay, let us just soap box. Shopping. This is one interesting looking one. A soap box shaped like this. But what I actually wanted to show is a little different. It is designed like a very nice petal, and it looks very beautiful. Okay, let me just see that. Where is it? Not in Amazon. Let us see images. I'm not able to find it. Okay. Oh, it's strange. I can't find it.
I think you can try design instead of
Box design ideas. No, no way. It's quite a popular product. I don't know why it's not.
So is it a soap box with a drain at an angle?
What if the soap comes in the soap box itself? Like it's the packaging itself.
Yeah, that could happen.
Like a Wimbar? So, but won't that go against the whole package quality and interface of the soap, where people want to use the soap on their hands?
Come again?
You said the soap coming as like part of the box, like the Wimbar concept.
But I mean, the concept, the whole thing is to maybe you don't need to keep changing the soap boxes. You know, this is a good design.
Yeah, so look at this, right? So it has a suction kind of a thing, and this is at an angle, and whatever soap, water, etc., kind of drips down.
And aesthetically appealing also.
Yeah, aesthetically appealing as well. In fact, there was another design which was even better looking than this. And look at this one. All right. Well, I'm not able to find. Probably if I get it later, I'll share it with you guys. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yes. Look at that. Okay, so similar to this design, but it is more stylized and it has translucent material, and it kind of has a suction which kind of sits on it, and the water drips down into the basin and all of that, right? So neatly designed. Agreed, guys? All right, okay, so let's go here. So Adriel is saying, sir, what I observed from this exercise is that most of the ideas that we came up with already exist. Yes. So that is the reason whenever you are coming up with an idea, you have to just think twice if it can be better, or you can improve it somewhere. Okay, so Nandana has come up with some kind of a solution which is for 4 soaps together. And the idea is it can be closable, it can be closed. Interesting idea, but we don't have to complex the already existing solution. So the problem is with one soap only you have a problem. So why you want to add more soaps and make it more complex? Okay. So you can probably avoid it. So in this case, what happens is when you're closing them together, now you have different kinds of soaps, right? With different textures, different flavors, different fruits and etc. combination of them. So when you kind of combine 2 soaps together, then they kind of stick to each other, and then it kind of kills that flavor or the fragrance of that particular soap. So I would not want you to make the solution more complex. You have to make it more simpler. All right. Okay, so So that's about it. Anybody has any other questions that you would like to ask? Very important thing, I would recommend that all of you redo these exercises. In the coming mock test, you will not see same kind of a questions, you will see different kind of questions. So this is an opportunity that you attempt and you take the feedback and redo them and improve your work. Okay. Fine. So any other questions anybody has?
Sir,
Nandana?
sir, actually, when I click on my mock test attempt, it's not opening.
Can you
So,
share your screen and show?
yes, sir. Just a second.
So Ashwija is asking, sir, as I didn't attempt the paper, is there a way for me to attempt these questions? Pragya is asking, sir, should we upload the works that we redo as revision here? Yes, you can upload them as revision, yes.
Sir, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, I can see your screen.
Sir, I'm clicking on it, but it isn't opening.
Can you click on that little pencil?
Yes, sir, I'm clicking on it, but it isn't.
Which browser you're in?
Sir, it's Firefox.
Can you try it in Chrome?
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Sir, should I stop sharing?
Yes, yes. Okay.
So
please try Chrome browser. So it should not occur because Anika has also did it a live demo with in front of us and she was able to open. So
I have opened it in Chrome only, and the others, like the questions I do in the daily class, those are opening, but the test one is not opening. I don't know why.
All right, it is okay. So can you just use that bug reporter and the report? Okay, I'll also inform the tech team so that they can look into that. Okay, yeah. Go on.
No, sir, nothing.
Okay, okay. All right, guys. So if you have not done all your basic assignments, please do it quickly because we are planning the advanced classes and the exam readiness classes along with few more AIM mock tests. Apart from one AIM that we are doing, we'll be having more AIMs as we get close to the exam. So if you finish all the fundamental exercises and be ready with your fundamental skills, it will be easier and fun for you to take up those advanced classes. All right. Okay. Okay, so Arnab, any tips that you would like to give and share with the students?
Keep sketching all the time. Whenever you get time, keep a book handy, keep some pages. Just draw all the time, whenever you get, like, move your hand. It'll, everything is muscle memory at the end of the day. So when you go to the test, you're giving a test, it'll automatically come. The more you practice, that's it. If you keep sketching, keep doing it, it'll automatically, you'll be faster. That's it. That's one advice I'll give. And observe more. Observe anything, everything. Keep observing. And if you see something, if you think like you have a better solution for it, you also like sketch it out. That's it.
All right, cool. Thank you, Arnab, and thank you, students, all of you. So we'll meet you next whenever the AIM happens and then the reviews happen. So we will be meeting you again. And please finish all your basic assignments so that you are ready for the advanced classes. All right. Okay. So with that, thanks Arnab for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and thank you everyone for attempting sincerely and doing your effort, putting your effort. Okay. So with that, I would end the session and thank you all. And any feedbacks, you please let me know any feedbacks. And yeah, anyway, we can improve our AIM mock tests or anything like that. Please do share your feedback. All right. So with that, we'll be ending the session. Thank you so much.